Hey guys, as we're headed into week 2, just want to make sure that you're aware. If you click on the calendar up here, that will let you know what's coming up. So it looks like for this week we've got a reading quiz that is open on Monday, closes on Friday at midnight. The chapter discussion forums open on Monday. Remember, your first one is due by midnight Wednesday, and then your second one, where you respond to another student's post, is due by midnight Sunday. Your first graded written assignment is going to be due February 9th, so I'm going to go ahead and just go to the February calendar, and you'll see February 9th. And then your next graded written assignment is assigned on February 10th, and that one's not due until early March, I believe. But you've got a couple weeks yet for this first written assignment. A couple people have emailed me asking me where the instructions are. If you go to Lessons, Graded Written Assignments, and then down here where it's labeled Instructions, there's a link. Go ahead and open up the PDF file. And you'll find that there are sort of enumerated 2 sets of instructions. They're not different instructions. All of this needs to be included in your paper, and that's going to be information from the 78th Texas Legislature as well as the 82nd. And this paper is going to focus mainly on redistricting, what the Republicans did and what the Democrats did, and whether it was fair or not. Just read through the instructions and it'll take you through. I've given you a few links down here at the bottom on where to find, or rather, these are your resources on where to find information on these 2 events. Now, redistricting is a very interesting thing that we do in this country, where each state gets to determine for itself how it wants to split up the various houses in Congress, in the House of Representatives. Since the representatives in the state represent the state, basically, or represent those areas, those regions within the state in the National Congress, each state has the right to divide up the land how it sees fit. So obviously your political party that's in charge is going to be the one that's going to make sure that its party is well represented in Congress. And obviously in Texas, the Republicans are the one in charge of the redistricting, and they're not going to help out the Democrats too often. So I'm sure you can guess at least generally what happens with the 78th and the 82nd Texas legislatures, but I think you'll be surprised at some of the details and how far each of the parties go in protesting or asserting their power in their efforts to redistrict the state. So here is an example of a U.S. congressional district map for the state of Texas. And you'll see that each one of these different districts, districts 13, 23, has on average about 650 to 675,000 people per district. The interesting part, and where the fights usually occur, is over here. This is the DFW Metroplex, and you'll see that the central region, District 34, I think, my eyes are going bad, District 34 takes up Irving, HEB, parts of northwestern Dallas County, and you have a high Hispanic population in these areas. Denton County, however, almost all of Denton County is taken up by District 26, and a nice little finger comes down into sort of Haslett, I believe Grapevine, Lake Worth, that kind of stuff is over here. And then if you look at District 33 and how just amorphic this looks, you can start to guess. For example, District 30 down here in South Dallas, you tend to have a high African American population. And so you know that the Republicans carved out this district because these voters are likely not to vote for Republicans. And so they gave this district to the Democrats. And the same thing I would say with District 33 here, probably a high Hispanic population here, and so they're going to vote Democrat as well. So when you start carving up these demographic populations, notice District 22, that encompasses the sort of North Dallas area, Highland Park area, going up here into, I guess, parts of Plano. This is likely a Republican district. I can't remember off the top of my head. Denton County, definitely a Republican district. And so you start to see that with redistricting, what the party in charge of the process does is it cuts out nice little areas and gives it to themselves, and then anything left over, they give it to the opposition party. And that's what becomes so controversial is this is sort of a moral question. Is it fair, for example, for the Republicans to decide that if you live in this area, you're going to have a Democratic representative in Congress? So if you're a Republican that lives in this part of Dallas, you're not going to have a Democratic representative for the next 10 years, basically. And the same thing's going to be true of, your Austins and your San Antonios and your Houstons. Your areas with larger populations, of course, are going to have more seats in the House of Representatives because the House is determined by population. But the big fight usually occurs over these gerrymandered-looking districts. And that's what you're writing your paper on. And remember that to access the additional resources that are being offered for this class, now they're certainly not a stand-in for your textbook, but they will help you focus on the important parts of the chapter, can be found under Lessons, Lectures, Resources, Unit 1, Chapter 2, the Texas Constitution. Your reading quiz is open from January 20th to the 24th. It can be accessed here. Your Chapter 2 discussion forum can be accessed here. And once again, shoot me an email or tweet me anytime you have any questions, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you.